much for tuning in again here on my YouTube channel to learn more about what has been going on in the wonderful world of Wandersoul web design. You may have noticed that I've taken a little bit of a break from posting these YouTube videos, and that has been because I have been very busy in other areas of my business, getting resources, tools, quizzes, templates ready and available for users just like you to download and use and implement in your own business. So I will drop the links down below in the description, but be sure to visit my new resources page, check out the tools that I use in my own business, and download some of those templates that will help you set boundaries and do better in your own business. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about design and specifically good design, right? That's what we're all after here. And I want to talk to you because I know that there's a really good chance that you have at least once in your career tried to DIY your own website, and you'll learn more about exactly who I'm talking to as I go through the specifics here. But if this sounds like you as you're moving through this video, then there's a good chance that we need to have a conversation. So I'll give you an opportunity to do that at the end of this video, and we can talk about taking next steps in order to make sure that your website is really working for your business. So what I want to talk about today is the design, the cohesive design aspect, and how it plays a role in strategically guiding your website visitors to becoming paying clients. Now, when we think of strategy, a lot of times what's coming to mind is a roadmap, sort of. They go from point A to point B to point C to booking with you. And while that is one half of a strategic design, the other half of a strategic design is using the right design elements and assets in order to make the right parts of your website stand out, downplay other parts that aren't as important. In this way, we help people make the choice to go from point A to point B to point C to booking with you. And so I want to talk about 3 ways that I use design assets to create a cohesive and strategic and thoughtful design when I build a new website. And the 3 ways that I do this that I'm going to be talking about today, of course, there are many, many more things that go into design, but I'm going to be talking about how I use typography, how I use color, and how I use repetitive information in order to create the strategic and thoughtful websites that I build for small business owners, second career women, just like you, who are ready to have that legitimate business feeling with an online presence. And let's dive right in. The first thing that I want to talk to you about in regards to creating a cohesive, strategic, and thoughtful design for your website is typography. And while I am getting ready to dive into how I set up typography on all new websites that I build, it's worth noting that the very, very first thing that you need for good design is to be using the right tools. And I use the Elementor Pro page builder in building all of the websites that I take on, all of the projects that I take on, because it has been by and far the most easy to use and easy to navigate page builder that allows me to create these cohesive designs with absolute ease and simplicity. And if you don't know yet, simplicity is one of my brand values. I'm always aiming to make sure that both my business and the projects that I work on for my clients come across as with ease and simplicity, and Elementor Pro allows me to do that. So what I've done here is I've opened up one of the Elementor Pro pages, and I'm going to go to the site settings, which is where I use global fonts and typography to make sure that the fonts and typography across the website are cohesive. And so it's not just about cohesion as much as it is about sort of telling a story with the fonts and knowing when and how to use specific types of fonts in order to convey the right information at the right time. So you'll notice if you just look at this page that there's a hierarchy of typography, meaning that the more important things are they stand out with color, and they also stand out because they're a different font and they are a larger font. So then you move down and you can see this is body text. It's slightly less important than just knowing exactly what Jerry Carabin does. This tells you a little bit more, but if you just saw intuitive services, you would know exactly what it is that Jerry Carabin is doing. Then as we scroll down the page, you'll see that buttons have a different typography. The menus even have a slightly different typography than the body text of the website. And the headings, as we scroll down the page, the hierarchy is such that this heading is larger than these because this is a much broader umbrella category and all of these services fit under it. So when I'm looking at the back end of one of the Elementor sites that I have built, I can go in here to global fonts. And again, we're under site settings. And you can see that I have tagged each of these fonts in such a way that I know exactly when and where to use it. So I have global text, small text, buttons, header, H1, H2, H3, H4, which also satisfies H5 and H6, which I'll show you in typography. And then I have a footer and an accent text. And so all of these texts are labeled so that not only do I know how to use them, but later on, if my client, you, are going in to edit this new website that I've built for you, you're going to know how these fonts are meant to be used so that you can continue the cohesive look throughout the website. So the other place in the site settings that I set this up is under typography. And this gives me the opportunity to pick the correct global font that corresponds with the typography that we're looking for here. So this is the body, and you'll see that it is corresponding with the global text that I set up previously. And if you look at each of these headings going down, they're going to correspond with the correct type of font that I want to pull in. And so what this allows us to do, again, is to, with just a few simple clicks on the front end, make sure that all of that typography is coming through in that cohesive, strategic way so that the information is being presented to a website visitor in a digestible way that allows them to make the right next decision. The other, or the next thing that I use to create cohesive design is color. And again, Elementor Pro makes this extremely easy to set up global colors that will work throughout the entire site. So I have set up the global colors, and again, you can see I mark these for what they are meant to be used for. We have a light background, a dark background, the text, and then we have 3 accents as well as a buttons color. And now one of the main things that I always ensure is that the buttons on my website stand out. We want to make sure that they are very visible because it needs to be clear both what action you want someone to take on your website and how they do it. And you'll notice that throughout Jerry's site, all of the buttons are going to be this brown color, and you're not going to see anything else on the website that utilizes this brown color. And the reasoning for that is so that the buttons always stand out so that someone knows exactly, like their eye is drawn to the particular point where they should click to take that next step. So those are just 2 ways that I use color to create a cohesive design. One of the other ones that a lot of people don't think about, a lot of novices don't think about, is the amount of space between items. And so this is referred to as white space in design. Obviously in this design, it's sort of this like dark turquoise space. All of this open space is considered white space. And the importance of white space is in order to give people time to digest the material on the page, they need sort of these like breaks and this space in between items. So that's just another way. It's sort of almost the antithesis of using color, but that's another way that you create hierarchy and good design. The third aspect that I want to talk to you about in regards to creating this cohesive strategic design for your new website is the use of the same materials throughout the website. And this serves 2 purposes. So I'm going to go to the front end so that we can see Jerry's website. And I'm going to scroll through and show you just a few places where there is the same information on more than one page. So this Why Choose Jerry section, the What Are Clients, the Testimonials section, and this Frequently Asked Questions section are going to show up on multiple pages. And the number one reason for this is that it takes between 7 and 17 times of a potential client seeing your messaging for it really to stick with them. And so if I just have testimonials on this front page and they either glide right over them or they don't even scroll far enough down the page to see them, then that we've missed an opportunity in there to make sure that the website visitor has a chance to connect and say, yes, that's me. Yes, this is the help that I need. And so same thing with Why Choose Jerry and the frequently asked questions. These are places that we can really connect and let people know we've heard them, we understand them, and we are the right choice for them to choose. And so these sections are also showing up on a few other pages. Oops, did I just open the home page again? Sorry about that. So this is the Meet Jerry page. And while you'll notice that at the top, there is more information, it doesn't look exactly like the home page or anything like that. Then we've got this section, and then scrolling down the page, we have again, the testimonials and the Why Choose Jerry. And now I don't have to use all three of those sections in the same order on another page. I get to pick and choose exactly what's necessary and what I think will be most impactful. But this is a very, very big part of creating the messaging for your website and making sure that it is guiding them no matter what page they're on, so that they see all of the relevant and necessary information and have that choice to make the next step, take the next step with your business. Now, the other thing that this does, which you might have already guessed, is it means that we don't have to write as much copy for the website as if we were putting new information on every page. So this information, again, is exactly the same, both the testimonials, the Why Choose Jerry section, and you'll see here, I believe I did the frequently asked questions as well. Again, just repeated same information on a new page to ensure that your website visitor or potential client is seeing all of this relevant information that will help them make the decision to book with your business. Now you've heard about these three ways that I use brand assets, design assets to create a cohesive look for your new website. And I want to really hone in on you right now, sitting here listening to me. If you are someone who has struggled to DIY your own website and you find yourself going back and fidgeting over your website, slightly moving things here and there, but never really feeling like your website is finished. And one of the reasons that this happens is because you are not a design expert. You are not meant to focus your energy on this design, on these design aspects that are not lighting you up. And I would love to have a conversation with you. I have offerings available for all budgets, all skill levels, in order that you will be able to finally have the website that makes you feel confident and legitimate and like you're actually doing the shit that you set out to do when you decided corporate was no longer for you and you wanted to start your own business. So if this sounds like you, someone who has fidgeted for hours on their website, you never really feel like it's finished, I would encourage you to book a call with me. We'll have a free 20-minute consultation and we can have a conversation about what it means to really perfect the vision that you have for your website and how I can play a part in supporting you towards that vision. And that may look like a live strategy session, a live edit session where we work on your website together. It may look like a VIP day where I dive in and take a look at exactly what's going on your site and consult with you on how we can make changes better. And you'll get a full 7 hours of my focus on that VIP day. Or it may look like a full rebuild, and that's a specialty of mine. And I can take all of the assets that you already have and really turn them into a cohesive website that works for your business, feels like you, and attracts your ideal clients. So if you are on the fence at all about how your website is representing you right now in your business, I would encourage you to hop on that 20-minute call with me. We'll have a conversation and we'll talk about how I can make a difference in how your business is showing up online and helping you, empowering you to elevate your online presence. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I can't wait to have this chat and this conversation to learn more about your vision and your goals for your business.